So we'll start with, tell us about you, about your journey as a writer.
Well, at the age of 93 years old, I published my first book, a memoir, and it's the story that starts from practically the day I was born. And the stories encompass my life growing up as a poor Jewish boy in public housing in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and persevering and having dreams of a better life and obtaining that better life. And I began writing anecdotes of wonderful experiences I've had during my life, adventures, opportunities I have taken advantage of, and that inspired me to write this book. Plus, for years at dinners with friends, they always said I had to write a book because I'm a storyteller.
That is absolutely incredible. 93 and you wrote your first book. I'm sure you must be very proud of yourself.
Yes, I am very proud of myself. Actually, I have a new career called author.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you have one more thing to worry about in life.
No, other than good health.
Yeah. Ah, perfect. So yeah, tell us about, like you mentioned, it's about you, like how you lived your life and everything. So without spoiling, giving us any spoilers, tell us what your book is about and somebody who's interested in reading your book.
Yes, well, the book is about perseverance, as I mentioned,
Mm,
optimism, having dreams,
mm.
taking advantage of opportunities that come your way, keeping an open mind, always learning, and and there's a great chance you can obtain those dreams. In my life and in the book, I show how so many things came my way. When I was 16 years old, I was walking down the street in downtown Minneapolis, and a woman came up to me and she looked at me and she said, I see an angel on each of your shoulders. Naturally, I thought she was a little crazy, and I kept on walking. And I truly believe those angels have guided me today.
Yeah, that is awesome. And I'm sure it feels like, it was since you were, like you said, you were 16, and it feels like it was yesterday when, this happened. Like life just moved too fast. We just don't even realize that. Yeah.
Yes. Um, there's always something new happening in my life,
Yeah.
and I take advantage of those new adventures and experiences.
Yeah, that is awesome. So yeah, tell us about more about your, like when you were writing your book, what your schedule looks like, and what did you do to make sure you will end up completing your plans, like what your day-to-day looks like while writing the book.
Well, I had no idea how to write a book. I had written all of the anecdotes and I had them in a file, and then I began putting them in by decade, starting in the 1930s. I was born in 1931. And in the I had dinner one evening with a friend, and he said to me, as other people have done, you've got to write a book. And I said, well, I don't know how to write a book. I need an editor. So he put me together with a freelance editor here in Los Angeles, and we met once a week for 2 hours each of those days. He recorded me, he looked at my anecdotes, and one day he sent me the first manuscript. And I actually got chills, as I do right this moment,
Yeah.
reading that, thinking, I have written a book. I can't believe it. And it went from there. Yes.
Yeah, that is awesome. So, like I'm sure, so I understand you were speaking with your editor and they helped you to, like transcribe like from your meetings, they managed to write the book for you and then you just reviewed it and then just basically edit it and the format, publish and everything. Is that how it worked?
Yes. Well, the publishing part, of course, was the most difficult part of it all because as I've learned, the publishing industry has changed a great deal today. And as the editor said to me, at my age, if I started to try to find an agent who would then try to find a publisher, I might not be around any longer to see that book published.
Hmm.
So he explained to me another venue to go, and that was where I would go with a publisher, and you pay a sum, and the publisher has all of the editing and all of the book cover design and sees the entire process with you, and then of course releases the book to the general public and on a number of venues such as Amazon. And so I went with that, and it
Yeah,
was very an
that's
interesting
incredible.
process.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. That's exactly what we do for our client. So it's basically we call it self-publishing in today's world, where we work with our authors and help them to write, edit, format, publish, promote, so that they can profit from their work. So, it was kind of similar work frame for you as well, but you since you work with a different editor. But for us, like we literally provide all the services like under one umbrella to make sure it's a seamless process for our authors. But yeah, you finally publish it, so yeah, it's that is brilliant. How are you promoting your book? And have you got some sort of like marketing funnels? Are you using Amazon ads or what are you doing to promote and drive traffic on your Amazon page?
Well, when I found out that I had to promote my book,
Yeah.
I thought, wait a minute, I'm not a salesman. I don't know how to do that. But also, I discovered how to do it because I'm always curious about new things. And I began, of course, with Facebook.
Hmm.
And I started developing more and more friends on Facebook
Yeah.
with quite, I guess, selfishly, with the idea that I could expose my book more because I had perhaps, a couple hundred people. And, and then it grew and grew and continues to grow. And then I spoke to the person who has worked with me on my computer occasionally, and he created a website for me. And then I began writing a blog, and it has developed, and it goes on to Twitter and all those other little areas, but I'm not really sure what they're doing.
Yeah.
And it's developed into all of that. I tried advertising on Facebook, for example, but I didn't follow through on it. I wasn't sure of the results and didn't follow through. But being a salesman, also I've done some book signing, and which has been very, very interesting. I did a book signing at a very large Barnes and Noble here in the United States. And but that particular branch, I looked around the audience, about 50 people, mostly elderly, and I realized they weren't my audience. But then a few people did come up and tell me they were my audience. And because my book is a little bit special,
Hmm.
And so being as a gay man, it doesn't really resonate with the general public, put it that way. And I didn't expect it to. Of course, I didn't know who it would resonate with. But I've been told it inspires people, and I'm very pleased about that.
That's incredible. You're doing everything right. We typically recommend our clients to start with Amazon ads. And once we see some sort of data collect, we basically collect data and then see how market reacts to your book. And after that, we slowly progress to other markets. You mentioned Meta ads. This includes Facebook, Instagram, and after that, we slowly progress to other platforms such as Goodreads, uh, TikTok and all these to to capitalize on your product, because at that stage we usually get like a lot of data, and then we try to capitalize on the data that we have received. And yeah, I totally agree with you that it's always sky's the limit when you go out and you see you initially think that who is going to read my book, but when you start getting the attention that you are always craving for your book, that's when you realize, "Oh, my book is actually awesome." Yeah, but yeah, you're doing absolutely awesome, and I think you have got a masterpiece in your hand. And yeah, just keep on promoting it.
Yes, as I said, there's always new ways, and I'm always looking for new ways to promote now. And it's become another, as I said, another career for me.
Really?
And for a man my age, it keeps my mind going
Yeah.
and keeps me interested in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you have any tips for somebody who's writing their book, or maybe struggling with what to do, or maybe they're too hesitant about publishing it? What do you advise to someone like that?
Yeah, since I've written this book and discussed it with people and sometimes strangers, I've discovered many people have interesting stories to tell. And I've tried to encourage them to begin writing. In fact, I had dinner with a woman the other night. And as I left her house, I said, write that book
Yeah.
because she's a fascinating person, has fascinating stories. And when I was a designer of clothing, I tried to inspire other designers. And the same thing now. Uh, I'm a new author, but I hope I can inspire other people, friends, people I meet, to sit down and write their story. Just begin.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. We all have great stories. It's just that we sometimes, get trapped inside our own mind and we just don't know where to start. But once you start, then it's you'll end up finishing and you'll publishing and you'll be like, very proud once the book is actually published and it's in your hand. So I couldn't agree more with you.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It begins that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, we'll conclude this short podcast where our readers can find you online, and if they want to connect with you and with your book, uh, we will we will put a link to your book in this meeting description where I will post it so they can go access your book as well. But where else they can find you?
Oh, where else can they find me?
Yeah, that's right.
They can find me on, well, if they go to larrychrysler.com, they can find me there and click on other venues on that website.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much, Larry. It was a pleasure speaking with you today. And your book, again, your book is absolutely awesome. I absolutely love the book cover. We'll post cover somewhere here so that our audience can see as well. And I wish you all the success in the world.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I'm losing my voice, and I do thank you.
you're welcome. You look after yourself, and I'll speak to you very soon.
You as well. Thank you.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.